did the one that was all Frodo's journey, so we've got all of those, and then they released one that was just Aragorn's journey, and I would have done it just to get the Rohirrim one, but it was just kind of stupid expensive at the same time because you have to because you pay for the medal up front, and then they do not give it to you until you've done the walkies and you've logged the steps.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
And they hold it hostage and they wiggle it at you and they're like, come on.
Come
If you'd like your bling, you must walk.
You gotta do your walkies. But they have other virtual walking tours that you can do of like other sites and things. And it like once you hit certain milestones, it tells you like facts or things about the place. And one of the ones that they have is Hadrian's Wall. And every once in a while I'm like, I could do the Hadrian's Wall one.
I actually want to do Hadrian's Wall one day. Like that's one of my like I'm an active old person walks that I want to do because it's there's not a ton of elevation over the course of the whole thing, and there's like little stops. But I would just do that. I mean, I would do it now because there's a ton of little stops and little pubs and things like that. And I'm
gonna book a
lazy
flight.
hiker. We should hike Hadrian's Wall, Andy.
Yeah, let's do it. I like anywhere. Let's go.
Mordor virtual challenge.
Forrest Wright was asking who has the
it's called the
virtual
Conqueror. It's the Conqueror virtual challenges, and they've got a couple.
I'm seeing theconqueror.events/Mordor.
So that's a new one. So they have the Lord of the Rings.
One can't simply walk into
Hobbit.
Mordor.
Yeah, so they do have some like collab ones. So besides that, they have the Hobbit, the Looney Tunes. They have a Scooby-Doo one, which I think is just very silly.
What do you walk to in the Scooby-Doo
which is it's 50 miles.
What hallway? Just running up and down the same hallway to music?
You have to walk 50 miles, and then they will give you a little metal with Shaggy and Scooby on it, and it glows in the dark.
I don't think the Scooby Gang has ever walked 50 miles in their life.
I was gonna say, I feel like that is much better to be in a van and smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Like, I think that literally the most cardio they get is like the one scene every episode where they have some like nondescript 60s music playing and they run up and down the hallways being chased by a ghost, probably played by George Takei. Takei.
Oh, okay, interesting. So they like send you postcards about stuff. Oh, this is really cute.
Yeah, and for every certain miles you get, they will either like plant a tree or work on like cleaning the ocean. It's like it's a whole big thing. It's a very interesting whole big thing. Okay. The only thing is it is a little expensive. So
yeah, I'm seeing that, but like I kinda dig it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. Doing it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. I definitely probably one day will do the Aragorn one and the Hadrian's Wall one if I don't actually go to Hadrian's Wall.
Well, we should do Hadrian's Wall as a group. That can be our LFTA
meetup, Hadrian's Wall.
Meetup, Hadrian's Wall.
I mean, we can just take our computers with us. We can just stream from there.
I mean, I work with my laptop all the time.
You heard it here first.
Who was it that was working with D&T books because it needed weight?
Me.
But you? That sounds so good.
I didn't want to spend money. I've never purchased weight. Why would you buy weight? You have friends who are dumb who buy weight, and then they give that weight to you. Sorry, Will Malkus and Andy.
I give you weights?
You gave me a 10-pound weight, and Malkus gave me a 20-pound weight.
Yeah,
or was it the other way around? I don't remember. But yeah, no, before that, it was dive weights and D&D books.
No, that's fair. Dive weights are weights.
Yeah. Dive weights are weights, but they are, they were multi-purpose, and I got them from my father-in-law, who was a scuba diver.
Clever. So, no, you just get the heavy circles and you lift them and then you put them back down.
There you go. That's the thing. Or you get the Shakespeare unabridged and you pick it up and you put it down.
It's less wieldy though, and like plus if you're gonna do like sick ass deadlifts and then like drop them and be like, you know, like it doesn't work with the books.
But lifting the a couple of copies of Shakespeare Unabridged gets cute dark academia girls to look at you.
But I'm going to the gym to lift weights.
I'm going to the library to get dark academia girls to look at me.
I see we're doing two different things
We're
here.
doing two different things here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually done that since undergrad.
I'm very bad at it. Oh, I guess I'm either very bad or very good at the gym. Because I go to the gym and just like, I'm not here to socialize. I'm just here to put in headphones and black out for about 45 minutes. Like, not actually.
Yeah.
But I like to lift heavy weights, and that means I'm not really socializing with people because I put weight back on bar and go, thank God I lived, and then proceed to just like try not to pass out until I'm like, oh, my garment says I should lift my weights again. Okay, and then I lift the weight off the bar, and you hear the Titanic music as the weight comes down, and it's probably not going back up.
I want a T-shirt that says that it for wearing at the gym that just says "Don't talk to me, I'll cry."
Oh, I would love that shirt. I would wear that
New
shirt.
LFTA merch.
Don't
talk to me, I'll cry.
That should go. I'm gonna add that to the list of booty shorts.
Oh, that's good.
I'm gonna add that to the booty shorts list.
That's good. This booty short merch, when it finally drops, it's gonna make us all millionaires.
We're gonna be insane with it.
Mm-hmm. Pre-order me like 2 of those.
Which don't talk to me, I'll cry. Or
yeah, do they come in extra short?
They can.
Got really good quads. I want to show them off.
I really like the one that was the my favorite one was the one for it was like the marker in front of like a cave that just said, "This hole is not for everyone, know your limitations."
That's
which
good.
is a great booty short thing to have on a pair of booty shorts. A little wordy, but it's worth it.
When I was at, is it Mississippi? Is that where Jackson Hole is? I don't recall.
Jackson Hole is in Wyoming.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. When I was like on a road trip,
it's like right by where we're going.
But this is 20 years ago. I did a road trip out there.
Fair enough.
And the core memory I have of that was I remembered like walking down the street and someone wearing booty shorts that said Jackson Hole, and I was like, bold move.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else about that, like that trip. But that was also when I went to like the Grand Canyon and all that stuff. It all blended together.
Yep.
Turns out a lot of time in your car with your family is a lot of fun, but also like kind of stressful. So
I would not.
We had MapQuest.
I would simply choose to not.
Mm-hmm. Put a lot of hours into my Game Boy. It was all good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I love my parents dearly. A road trip would have ended in homicide.
No, I'd say 80-20 is pretty cool. It mostly got stressful when it's like, what do you mean the exit we needed was 20 miles back? God damn it. And then like everyone's trying to find where the exit is, but like now it's dark and everyone's lost and confused and hungry and scared and whatever, you know. And it becomes a like, oh my God, we're gonna die. I'm like, not really. There's other stuff around here, but we will not find our campsite that we're trying to get to.
That's not even in like Dueling Banjos part of the country.
No. The only times you have to be concerned when you saw the signs were like, hey, last gas station for 100 miles. And it's like, oh, I should actually like really pay attention to the sign and make sure I have a full tank of gas.
The last gas station sign is the only sign you need to pay attention to when traveling.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And it's like, oh yeah, we're driving through the Badlands. It's 115 degrees out here, and there is nothing out here for a human to survive in. Okay. Yep. Cool. Let's not break down.
And do not feed the baby.
The baby.
Anyway, should we
play this game?
I guess we can play this game.
Just a thought.
Y'all want to go on a D&D road trip? You got a sick map of the Sword Coast.
It's true.
I think that sounds brilliant. Let's do that.
We're just gonna leave. Our characters are just gonna leave Waterdeep City and go fuck up and down the fuck around up and down the Sword Coast.
Yeah, just cut east and head to the Sea of Stars. It's pretty. There's a lot of pirates out there too. We can do a pirate one-off. And somebody else's problem be like, yeah, this city's fucked. Just
like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess we can play this game. So, for those of you who have a passive perception that is positive, probably saw Bedlam's out, so he's still dealing with some stuff. Like I said, if you're said last time, if you know Bedlam, reach out, say hi, just tell him you think about him. But yeah, he'll be back hopefully next session. Yep. Let's introduce everyone. Hold on, I have these little every time. There we go. OBS likes to move around some of my little source code things, and that can be annoying.
OBS just does what it wants.
It does. It's like I reconfigured the format for you. I'm like, why? I had it the way I liked it. This is better. No, it's change. Change I didn't do. Della.
Oh, hi. I'm Della. I play in this game B. She's renting brain space to a rock, or well, she hasn't yet. It's kind of not really like a landlord situation. It's really more of like it's got squatters' rights in her brain at the moment. But it is like keeping the lawn neat. So B is kind of okay with it for now. We'll work out a contract later. And that's me.
Solid. JD.
Hey, I'm JD, pronouns he, they, and I am playing Riv, pronouns any, all. And you know what? Compared to their roommates, I am pretty sure Riv is having the most normal time. Might be multi-classing. We'll see how that goes, but everything is fine and normal and okay.
Yeah. Riv's just chilling.
Yeah. Vibing.
Straight vibes. Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. Today I'm going to be playing Lavinia Hale. Lavinia Hale is having a great time, honestly, in her head. In her head, she's fine because she got answers as to why somebody tried to kill her a year ago. And the fact that they came back to kill her again doesn't matter because she knows why. Is that the correct way to think about things? Probably not. Is that how she's thinking about them? Yes, it is. She's just ready to get back to work.
Aren't you about to get promoted soon at work?
Immediately ready to get back to work. Yeah. Even though her house burned down. Even though she's made things weird for her captain. She's not gonna feel bad about that.
Let's do the paperwork. Every one of your introductions just reads like this stupid gift to me. I love this gift so much. It was like, oh, we're doing fine. I'm like, oh, man. You insist. All right.
I do insist.
Fair enough. With that roll, choose to believe you. That hot 3 ain't doing much good for me. So let's recap a bit. I guess we'll start with Lavinia and NB. So do you want to fill Riv in character or out of character about last session?
Well, I guess that really depends. Well, I will say Lavinia does have to talk to Riv because they have to see if they want this key that their dad gave them to this house, to this apartment that we can rent for like a month since our house burned down. So I do think Lavinia wants to tell in character.
Okay, cool. That works for me. Let's start with Riv then. If I recall, because it's been a minute, the last place we left Riv was kind of leaving from the mess of the small fire down in the South Ward. And small fire. Oh, it took out a couple buildings,
And you kept adding more fire to
there's
the
a
map.
there's a considerable amount of fire on that map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 45-foot squares of fire. It's not that much. It's a big map. But
Small.
Little.
yeah. So Riv, this is like the first moment of like, I don't want to say calm, the first moment of not panic you probably had since like yesterday morning. You all had to go to the astral plane and pull back Rainier Neverember, who, you know, after he recovered, told you that he was like done kind of being pushed around and decided he wanted to use his like considerable connections and political clout to come out of political retirement and actually go after the position of open lord and start making changes in the city. I asked you to kind of be his right hand advisor, or insert cool position here that you'll be paid for. Czar. What's Jafar's position?
Vizier, but I was going to say
Vizier.
work wife.
Work wife. These are all good. Work wife. Yeah,
Valid.
you can make your own business cards, but partner in crime, co-conspirator, whatever you want to call it. So he's got that going on. And you kind of had to rush out and deal with this fire incident, right? But there's still a couple things still on your to-do list, right? There's obviously all the stuff with the theater, with Hazel still being missing, with the deals with the Castellanters to try to like move forward with a new production. There's the investigation that you're working with Vincent Trench. There's the auction house tonight where Sergio is working to kind of get you all in to deal with this probably unfamiliar fence that you've heard about. And then there's the sanctuary that kind of runs itself, but you haven't really checked in on a minute. In on it in a minute. Smush all those words together. So, just the question for Riv is, what do you do? What's your day look like?
I think for Riv, they are going to take the opportunity to check in on the sanctuary because it has been a while, and the last thing they were told was Sergio's tip that one Vincent Trench was starting to set his sights on the sanctuary. And that means that Riv wants to they want to check in and see if anything seems to be amiss. Because the sanctuary is very important to them, and they were always determined to not let anyone link anything that they were doing to that place.
Okay. So, I know we've talked about the sanctuary a bunch. I don't think we actually had a chance to really go there yet. So, as you kind of work your way through the city, tell me about the sanctuary. What is it? What's it look like? What's yeah. Paint me a word picture.
Yeah, I do think that the sanctuary is so named because it is in a building that was once a church, but is currently housing a bunch of the orphans of this city and others. And so it is a stone edifice. There are still large stained glass windows, and it is either very loud or very quiet, depending on when you are going. If it is the middle of the night, you could hear a pin drop. If you are there during the day, there are enough children milling around at all times that it is sheer chaos at most times.
I like that. And what would you say is the biggest issue facing the sanctuary right now?
Oh, money, of course.
Money, of course. Funding, just like everything else. Is it privately funded, or is it part of the city funding, or is it a combination?
I think it's always been primarily city funding, and that is why Riv, as Mr. Luke Black, had been adding additional funding where he could in terms of money that might have just been misplaced that Riv just happened to stumble across, as happens. Sometimes people forget that bag of gold. It's fine.
Yeah, as you do. Okay. Well, it is this morning you find yourself heading to the sanctuary, and it is actually quite a lively place. A lot of the kids are actually outside right now, and they're playing some type of ball game. You've seen this game before. You're not quite sure what the rules are. It involves kind of just getting a slightly magically enhanced rubber ball and throwing, kicking. There's some goalposts and some chalk lines that the kids run around, and they switch teams sometimes, and they make up rules. But the bottom line is they have a blast while doing this. Everyone's laughing and joking, and you can see two of the employees just kind of off to the side watching the game and cheering occasionally and just kind of talking to one another. And they see you walking up, I assume, as Mr. Black.
I think
And
so. I think there's a moment where Riv hesitates because if French has linked the sanctuary in any way back to them, this is definitely a bolder move to take. But I I think actually it's seeing the kids playing that makes Riv stay as Mr. Black, because I think he then jumps in to play around with the kids.
okay, yeah, a couple of them wave at you, and one of them just throws you this ball that flies way further and way faster than it actually should with real physics, right? And you're able to grab it. You see three kids just come running towards you. What do you do?
I think Riv has been watching and trying to gather as many rules of this game as they can. And so they start, dribbling the ball, they start moving around the kids, but they're joking with them as they do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, is that where I score? What if I went this way instead of that way? And just trying to make them engage with them.
So the kids are like, "Yeah, Mr. Black." Some of the other kids are like, "You're going the wrong way," but you think they're on the other team, so you're not quite sure. But yeah, you jump in for a quick 10 minutes, run around, and give me a. I'll take athletics or performance, and I think this
Pretty
goes
sure
at
I'm gonna go with performance, but let's check that out. Yeah, I'll probably go with performance. All right, that is a 19 on the dice, so that is 24.
Hell yeah. They were already having a fun time this morning, but you showing up and actually playing this game with them just made their day, right? They're just ecstatic about it. And you see, even as you kind of head off to the side to catch your breath, the energy level of this kind of courtyard has just increased as these kids are just happy that you're involved, right? So you have two people that you work with here, and been kind of having fun making NPCs, but let's make up a few more. So we've got Kirk and Hannah are the two that actually run this place, kind of full time, and I think there's a balance of they know that you pop in and out, but they're dedicated employees. What do they look like?
Yeah, you said Kirk and Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kirk has short, dark hair, dark eyes, and is on the larger side, is definitely like much more full bodied, kind of made of muscle. Um, and I think, you know what, I think Hannah is a butch lesbian queen, because we love to see it. I think we've got some side shaving going on with the hair. Definitely dressed to be able to move around. Yeah.
Leaning into the whole trope, got the visor and the whistle. Like, fair enough. No, they're both happy to see you, and it's come walking up, and it's like, "Hey, boss, how's it going?"
And I think, as often happens, Mr. Black says, and I'm not your boss. I just help out here. You're the one doing things day to day.
Yeah, tomato, tomato. But hey, Mr. Black, how's you got some sick moves out there? I'll give you that.
What is that game?
It changes. So this week, I think there's playing some version of. Hey, what are you kids calling this game this week? And one of them just yells back, "Mage ball!" Mage ball.
It
Yeah.
The rules seem to change, which I suppose makes sense.
Yeah, it helps foster creativity. A little bit of adaptability. Last week, I think it was like pirate fights or something. They have fun. That's the important part. But Kirk and I, we tried to we tried to actually write down the rules one day, and we asked Marco like, "Hey, how do you play this game?" And he was trying to explain it. And by the time we got to the third page, we just kind of gave up.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but they're having fun with it. But so what brings you by?
Well, I haven't been around for a couple of days now. It's been a pretty busy time with business and all, but I just wanted to see how things were and make sure everything's running smoothly.
Hannah says, "Yeah, things have been pretty quiet here. Um, I mean, funding and all. That's always a not. It's not even worth bringing up, but it's there." And she like kind of thinks about it and just shakes her head like, "Everything's quiet." And Kirk kind of clears his throat and goes, there was a weird thing that happened. I think about 2 days ago. Wasn't anything. Hannah was out on the courtyard with the kids, but a gentleman came by. Do you know a guy named Leo Petrick?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, it kind of popped in out of the blue. Said he was interested in helping to donate and fund the sanctuary. Seemed curious about the operations, but you know, didn't want to go any further than that because um, not really vetted, and I didn't want him just lurking around. But yeah, he's the summary of the conversation was he just wanted to see how the place ran, and he was looking to invest. But he asked for a tour. I told him to come back at a different time because it's like, hey, look, I don't want you around all these kids, and they don't know who you are, kind of thing. But yeah, he left a card, but he was pretty insistent. But we told him no, and he left politely. He didn't cause any problems. So seemed like a nice guy, but just maybe a little odd.
I mean, I suppose it is a little strange that he would have been so insistent to be donating his money, though there are good Samaritans, I guess.
That's the thing. He could have just been a nice guy and just came at it in a weird way, but
yeah,
I don't know. Figured it's something I wanted to kind of run by you because I know you're not the boss, but you kind of deal with more people in those circles, so wasn't sure if you knew his
no,
name.
of course, yeah. That name isn't familiar, but if you have that card, I'd be happy to look into that and see what I can find out about him.
Yeah, let me I'll run inside and grab it real quick, and make a knowledge history check if you'd like. My
Absolutely not. That is a nat 1.
Oof.
a nat 1.
That dice is going into jail.
On a nat 1, you're sitting there, and you're like, that name. You're trying to think of where you've like heard it around before, because it's kind of a generic name, right? It's not. It doesn't really stand out, but like you swear you've heard like the Petrick name somewhere, not in the papers. And as you feel like you're close to zeroing in, your concentration's broken as you like throw your hands up and like catch the ball as it's coming your way, and you're like, that's a foul. You can't use your hands right now. And just, you throw the ball back into play, and the thought just escapes your mind. Yeah. After a few minutes, Kirk comes back and he hands you like basically a business card and a small letter of basically interest and intent, introduction, interest, and intent. Right, and as you kind of glance over it, it seems legitimate. Right, it seems like the way people tend in noble circles tend to make introductions of like, "Hello, this is who I am. I am, Um, in his case, he's actually a member of the Merchants Guild from the Trade Board, and he describes having a kind of windfall of economic prosperity due to like recent opening of shipping lanes, and was interested in trying to get back to the city in various ways, and wanted to discuss the sanctuary and a couple other places he's looking to just donate money to try and help get back to the city.
And Mr. Black looks over all of that and says, this does seem to be legitimate, but I would want to learn a bit more about our new friend before we move forward with this.
This is a thing that actually would come up. Oh man, hey, make an investigation check. The DC is 22.
Oh Jesus! Oh.
Gosh.
All right, that's a 27. Not a 27. I'm sorry, that's a 17. I lied.
Oh no!
Do you want to use a advantage, buddy?
I got so excited, and then
I know. No, there is like no way.
what is
in hell
your
unless I roll a
investigation?
20.
1.
That's even if you Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that is worth an advantage. If I had a 10 on that, I don't even know how I added that to it. I was like, that's 16 plus 1, that's 27, obviously.
Hell yeah!
You were ready for it. You were ready to pass this.
I cannot wait for you all to go to the casino.
Oh.
Guns come out the table, like what? That ain't it. On a 17, another thing that strikes you is the handwriting. The handwriting looks familiar, but again, it just kind of like itches at the back of your brain.
Yeah, no, Riv just looks at that and studies that and like squints their eyes like that is going to magically tell them, and then just has to give up.
Just do the fry squint. Just
It's like a magic eye. You're just trying to like move it around so you see the actual. Oh, it's a horse. But Kirk says, "Hey, I know you. I know you're a busy man. Um, and this is not to put pressure on you, but whenever you have a chance to stop by, like, please do. The kids love it. You know, you can see they really react to your presence."
Absolutely, Kirk. I mean, it is why I continue to support the sanctuary in all of the ways I can. I know the children here who don't have homes need a safe place to stay, and that is what I want the sanctuary to be.
And oh, almost forgot. There's some papers, just routine city admin stuff. They're in your office. Kind of like tabbed them out, but you just gotta go through them and sign them. All the invoices and such.
I'll get to that right now.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You kind of leave the joyous chorus of laughter behind as you head into the sanctuary, into your office. What's your office look like in here?
I think it is an office that is incredibly sparse. Like other parts of the sanctuary look lived in, they look like a home. You know, there is as nice furniture as is possible to be afforded with the money that the sanctuary has. And then there's like a rickety table and chair for Mr. Black's office.
Okay.
You know, a filing cabinet. Like it is very minimal in every way.
Interesting. Okay. As you go in the office, sit down, as Kirk described, there's like, you know, a pile of paperwork, and it's just like, you know, just monthly invoices from the city as you go back and forth for funding. And you know, Hannah knows this, Kirk knows this, that basically the sanctuary operates at this point almost month to month, right? Like there have been times you've been in the black and you're like good for about 3 months, but the way the city funding works, it's like kind of a nail biter before the end of the month to see if that new bit of funding's come in. And right now, like getting close to the end of the month, so there's basically like letters of intent that like, hey, this is what the council, the city council has decided for like the funding allocations for this month should arrive by the 29th of chess, right? Which is kind of close, but you know sometimes that's why you've had to pull in that extra little bit of funding from time to time. That all is signing the paperwork, sending the letters off to the side to be sent back, signing some inventory stuff, signing like just admin to keep this place running. You go ahead and make another investigate check while you're in your office.
That is an 18.
Your table, which you described as kind of like rickety a little bit, shabby, as you're like signing stuff, you're used to like plopping one arm down and like signing so the table doesn't rock. You notice after like the third signature that like table's not moving.
Riv is gonna lean back to examine the table in that case.
Okay. So you kind of like looking at the table. There's no like he's expecting like maybe Kirk or Hannah like got in here one day and decided to be nice and like slap on a reinforcing 2x4 at the bottom or whatever, and like there's no signs of repair on this table. Doesn't look like anything's changed at all. I'm gonna do a quick aside real fast for that comment. So I played a game where literally, um, I had my players go into a room. There's a rug of smothering as they walked in. So they ID'd the rug. The rug attacked them as they're being smothered by the rug. There were small tables in the room, and the tables split out spikes, became circular saws, and started bouncing like fucking Roombas across the room as circular saw mimics.
So I'm gonna
Circular saw
stab the
mimics.
table.
Just real quick, just
Stab.
I'm gonna stab my own desk now. Like IRL. Jesus
I mean, mimics
Christ.
I love mimics, but you got to use them sparingly. It's more about the fear of the mimic. But no, the table is not a mimic today.
stay.
Today. Thank you so much for that.
Gonna have to be real careful when we go back into our house to look through all of
Yeah.
our semi-burned up stuff and be like slapping things around.
It's like, hi, we rebuilt your house. You walk inside, the door smiles, and you're like, no.
No.
The whole house.
Mm-hmm. As you're examining this table, there it is. The table's not a mimic, but the entire room containing it is.
Mm.
First edition wall mimics. Those are great. Kind of like move some stuff around and then tilt it back. And under one of the table legs, there's been kind of a, I guess, propping it up and like stopping it from moving so much. Is a small black looking stone. As you examine it a little closer, it has the faintest outlines of like some silver lettering or something. It's hard to tell. It's kind of faded or like hard. You can't quite see it right.
I mean, I think Riv can't really help themselves. I think they like have to pull it out from under the table leg and start examining it.
Okay.
There's been a lot of weird stuff with stones lately.
You pick it up. It's small. It's about the size of a $50, maybe a little thicker, right? It looks like, honestly, at first glance, like a very smooth rock you could have pulled out of the lake, but it's like completely jet black and that weird silver reflection or something. That there's got to be something right on this thing, but you can't like get the right light to see it. But it just seems entirely out of place. Like this is not something that you wouldn't. This is not a kind of rock that would come from like the garden outside that someone just put on the table to prop it up. It just doesn't. I mean, maybe if someone was down the harbor digging for something really specific, but this is like gem cutting smooth.
Yeah, and I think Riv is pretty quickly able to like discount the idea that anyone did that, because if it was a rock that they had to search for like this, why would they use it to prop up a table?
Oh yeah, that'd be the coolest rock the kids ever had.
Yeah. Yeah, so Riv is gonna pocket that and finish up the documents with the usual rickety table.
Very quickly sign the rest of the documents, let it package them up, and they're set up to go. You know that Hannah walks by the Zephyr post on the way home. She'll take them.
I did want to ask, just, hearing where things are financially, is there any significant decrease with the city funds that are meant to come through this month versus last month?
No, the funding amount looks like it's going to stay the same. It's just a delay in the payment, which gets concerning because
Mhm.
without being too boring, but also being concerning, right? You have to do things like make repairs, order food, like do routine maintenance that you're waiting on that funding to come in so you can do it. So if it's delayed, there might be days where you're like, hey, we're having like some functional service delays here, which gets problematic. So it takes about do the math on this real quick. I have this actually in my notes. I want to make sure it's correct.
don't know that I love you having this in your notes.
I have all sorts of random
That
stuff in my
feels
notes.
like a threat.
I can't express to you how much random time I have to just like think about the administrative details of random things in this city and how they run.
I worry one day about you going into politics.
So, nah, I think that's a lot of effort. It wouldn't be fun at that point. On average, it costs about 50 gold a month to run this place. Right. Because you're basically providing like food, structure, education, and employment for like 50 kids. Hannah and Kirk are full time. There's other people that rotate in and out as well. So it's about 10 grand a month to like run this place in real monies. So 200.
Yeah, Riv makes a mental note of that and is also keeping in mind if there is a delay, just starting to think about ways they could potentially cover that difference if needed.
Oh yeah. After another quick look around, like everything else seems to be in order. No other real changes, but yeah, you've got a business card, a letter of introduction and intent, a weird stone.
A normal array of things to be leaving a place with.
Yeah.
It's your EDC. It's your everyday carry, man.
Yeah.
Real normal. Real normal.
You don't have your cool pocket stone?
Yeah.
Flush.
I figure you hang around for a bit and just like check on people, high five the kids, see how they're doing.
Yeah.
After a little while, Hannah blows the whistle. It's like, all right, mage ball's over. It's lunchtime. Let's go. Like 5 more minutes. No. Line up. We're going to lunch. And the kids start like lining up, kind of cleaning up the field area, and then start heading inside to go grab lunch. Both teams vehemently arguing about the fact that they won based on their point systems, which are very different. But everyone seems to be quite having a good time. As they're going inside, you see Kirk just hitting them one by one with the prestidigitation spell to kind of clean them up as they're going in.
Yeah, and Riv gives them some final high fives as all of the kids make their way inside.
You got any party wisdom for the group?
I think Riv just, or I should say Mr. Black in this case, just sticks to finding ways to offer compliments to each of the kids for the way that they played. So just going through the list and being like, that was an awesome goal. Nobody can do the type of footwork that you just did, like things like that.
Hell yeah. Now they love it. Crisp high fives all the way down, And after a few minutes, you're just left standing in an empty courtyard.
And Riv stands there for a few moments, just staring at the sanctuary, looks back at the card and letter in their hand. Is there any information on the letter regarding contact information?
There is. There is an address. Let me pull it up for you.
I do want to go outside.
That's a good microphone.
You know.
You hear my wife downstairs just talking to the dogs.
She's asking the important questions.
It's true.
That is fair. Where'd it go? The address is off of Shando Street in the Trade Ward. Actually, a couple blocks away from the Eclipse Theater. And you're kind of familiar with that area. That is a big, like, established merchant. If you can picture, like, the closest thing Waterdeep has to a neighborhood of, like, box stores.
Mhm.
Right. The more well established official Merchants Guild personnel run those stores.
Then I think Riv, as they walk away, is going to get a far enough distance where they can go back to using their current face. And then I think they're going to make their way towards the theater, or at least nearby to the theater. See if they can catch a glimpse of this residence.
Okay. As you go by, it's heading down the street or close by it. You actually see, like, um, one of the many buildings. It's like a little nice. They've all got their little, like, symbols or gimmicks outside. You know, some people are outside doing like live cantrips to kind of draw in a crowd. Some people are actually just doing like arms work outside, so you can see like the display and quality of different weapons. Some people, they have different types of adventuring gear, and they have like little, like, mock displays of like a rock wall, and they're showing people like why their rope is better, that kind of stuff. And the thing that catches your attention is this store actually doesn't really have a lot of commotion outside, but it's just Leo's import export. But it's a nice official looking storefront, you know. But you see people going in and out, but there's not like a big crowd of people where they're being drawn in by like displays and interactions and like Shark Tank pitches, basically.
Yeah, I think for the moment, Riv is just keeping an eye on kind of who is going in and out, and just, noticing, even if it's that they walk out with nothing, if they walk out with boxes or bags, like they're just getting a sense for what the clientele seem to be like, and what the clientele might seem to be retrieving
Yeah,
or dropping off, depending on whether they're importing or exporting.
as you hang out for a while and just kind of watch this, give me another investigate at advantage. You're just kind of like taking this all in.
That is a 21.
21. Okay, yeah. So you hang out for a bit and you watch. You see there are a lot of people going out. They not all of them, but a lot of them tend to be wearing some type of guild affiliation. Um, Either like scarves, badges, hats, what have you. All the guilds have like different ways, but of displaying what they're doing. But they're from different guilds, right? So you see people from like the Grocers Guild, they're going in. You see people from like the Metalsmith Guild going in. You actually see a couple people from other stores like pop in, pop out, and the people that aren't wearing like some type of guild affiliation seem to be like richly dressed, have more like noble, what one would describe as like noble clothing, right? Or more ornate clothes. And a lot of people, they go inside, and either one of two things happens. They, as they're walking out, have looks like a bit of paperwork in their hand that they're like putting into like a bag or a folder of some type before they leave. Or some people going in, kind of see they actually go around back, and you gather the storefront's actually very small. The majority of this building seems to be warehouse. As they go around back, and they like a cart is loaded up with boxes of some type. They're all just stamped, Leo's import export, or LIE, if you will. And being taken off to their destination.
I think Riv has seen enough for the moment, so they make note of all of that and then continue on their way.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for a random thing.
Love it when that happens.
How stealthy would you say you're being at the moment?
I think I think as Riv is walking, not stealthy at all. I think when they were standing there watching, definitely stealthy, but they're a couple of blocks away from the theater, so they don't feel the need to be concealing the fact that they're walking around here.
Okay. You do see they do not go into the import export store, but you do see both Amalia and Victorio Castellanter with a small group of bodyguards with them. It seems like they're out shopping. And they kind of walk down the street, talking to each other. They seem to be laughing about something as they turn the corner and head into like a custom arms and like decorations kind of place where they do just all sorts of ornate metal work. So everything from like jeweled gems to like really ornate mirrors, or jeweled daggers to really ornate mirrors. Not the kind of stuff you want to fight with, but look really cool to slap up in your office or something.
Riv makes note of that, but best not to disturb them while they are out and shopping.
Okay. Yeah, after a few minutes, they're off the street and they're inside conducting business.
We'll deal with that problem later, and whatever chaos that play is going to bring to the stage when it is performed. We don't need to worry about that today, though.
But you don't want an ornate chandelier?
No.
I think it's around this time. Probably get a sending from Lavinia.
Yeah, it's after lunch. Yeah. I think this comes through just like the traditional sending stone that Lavinia passed off that one time. It doesn't come through the whole general group chat of it all. And it's just, hey, where are you?
And Riv sends back near the theater.
Okay, we can go back into the Good Times boarding house after 5 to look if anything survived. Also, my dad got us an apartment.
Just question mark, question mark, question mark. Then where can I meet you?
Where were we having lunch? Was that was over in the trade ward?
Right, yes, you and Evan had your awkward liquid lunch over at the trade ward. Yeah, you guys are actually pretty close to each other.
Yeah. If you're going to the theater, I can meet you at the theater.
Yeah, and Riv just sent back, let's meet at the theater.
As Lavinia, as you and Evan are kind of parting ways, he says, it's just something to think about. Food. I know you're not a fan of theatrics, right? And trust me, I don't. It's not my favorite thing. I'm good at it, but it's not my favorite thing. But I need you to think about it this way. right? Because one day you might be one of the commanders here. The funding distribution of the city is not, it's not just done by rote calculation. It's done by people. I mean, it's the master lords, but there's still people and the council, right? At the end of the day, people want to endorse what they see as positive change. And the stats are one thing, but the community interaction is the other. And so going out and doing these silly public displays, putting on costumes, and just talking with people, it does help to build trust, but it also helps to create more opportunities to do more good in the long run, right? Because at a certain point, when you sit behind a commander's desk, you're not fighting most street level things at that point. You're fighting for the district and then for the city. You got to figure out the best way to like make things better for people that way. And so there's something to be said for when you have something that's going well to be vocal about it. And if it's a little cartoonish, yeah, fair enough. But it gets the attention it needs and it gets people the help they need. Just not saying you got to change your mind, just giving you an alternate perspective, perhaps.
I hear you, and I believe that you believe that wholeheartedly. I am not bringing a Chompers to the Candle Street station.
Oh, you can't. That's trademarked. That's mine.
Oh, God.
Look, jokes aside, right? Look at the funding. It should be equal, right? But behind the Castle Ward, the Trade Ward is the second most funded. It's because the powers that be are invested, not just because of the businesses, it's because of the people. It's businesses everywhere. They're all throughout the city.
Funding is a tricky thing.
It is. But it's not something that you or I can control in what we'd like. So we gotta do what we can to get the money where it needs to go to help people. Just, again, something to think about. The drinks are on me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will be in this evening, I guess, to discuss what we're going to do about the transfer.
Yeah, it's been postponed, but we're going to try to move them shortly.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go round up my other roommates who I didn't get to see this morning, make sure they're okay, and figure out about our stuff. So I will give you an answer about that other thing later.
He nods and says, if they need anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to help put him up in a hotel for a little bit.
I'm not going to make the joke about Brindle again, but it was very good.
It was good. And he like gives you a look, and he's like, except for the one guy that I can't be anywhere near.
I don't see why it would be an issue. I've been living with him just fine.
I'd be happy to give you some money to give to Brindle.
Oh, he would love that. He would actually, in fact, be overjoyed. I'll talk to you later. I have to go meet Riv.
Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you head out. B, are you going to this, or is it just Livity and Riv?
They used their private sending, their one-to-one sending. So I think B
He's-
is
he
honest.
was going to CCW.
Yeah, I think B is going to go CCW and see, you know, what he meant by all of that saucy dwarven poetry that he was sending. So B's gonna.
I'm gonna just flash cut to the peak, like what, 90s, early 2000s, to like the late night TV channel that's not quite in focus, and just things are happening, and we're like, oh,
Yep.
okay, yep,
Something's happening.
yeah.
Don't
The
worry
boat-
about it.
The boat is a rockin'. Don't come a knockin'.
Don't do it.
Yeah, every other boat just sitting there, like, just calmly on this very like tranquil sea, and then fucking the CW's like Unsinkable 2 is just like rocking back and forth,
Yep.
almost
Yep.
like cartoon style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he actually has a boat name, but if not, I'm gonna put
It's the
that
Unsinkable 2. No, that's canon. That's yeah. What happened to Unsinkable 1? Don't worry about it. Don't.
The boat race last year was a little rough.
Yeah.
Is it here, important question for the notes? Is it spelled out TWO, or is it literally just like the number or the Roman numeral?
I think it's a
How
Roman
does-
numeral.
Okay.
Because it makes the bit even better when it just becomes the Unsinkable 3.
Yep. Because the only piece left of the first Unsinkable was the name, so it's actually like just on like a broken piece of board, like stuck, like glued to the side.
Little
nailed
Italian
to the
works.
side. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
So yeah, I think B right now is indisposed. There's a away message music, you know,
What is your AIM away message?
I think it's the. Oh gosh, the problem is I don't. I honestly, I think it probably just is find a man who treats you right, heart emoji, and that's it.
No notes. Solid.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like what like sappy romance song lyrics it would be, but B's not like that.
Valid.
Yeah.
We love that for her.
What's the song? It's like something trust fund.
Oh, looking for a man in finance.
Yeah. Looking for a man in boating. Trust fund. 3-5 blue eyes.
Yep. Yeah.
Moving on. So yeah, you guys link up. I'm gonna say like a bench across the street from the theater. Unless you want Roberto to get anywhere near this conversation.
Yeah, no, we don't need that right now.
Yeah. You can still hear his haunting yells from inside occasionally as the wind carries them by.
Riv just kind of pauses each time, and it's just kind of like, do you think I should go in there?
If you go in there, I'm probably not going to see you again.
That's true. Anyways, what was that about your father giving us an apartment to stay in?
Yeah. So, given the whole our house exploded thing in a drow attack bent upon ending the Hale bloodline, he was able to secure lodging in the castle ward for about a month. Not quite, not in the castle itself, nothing crazy like that, but kind of in like the diplomatic arena, so to speak. I don't know. It's free, but it's heavily guarded, which I think is like was the plus for him because, our house was attacked and our landlady almost killed. B, I think, is probably going to be staying with CW for most of it. I didn't know if you were going to stay with Rainier or not, but you are entitled to it if you want to stay there.
I think that, well, from a safety perspective, well guarded is a good thing. I think for the types of activities we engage in, that may not be a good thing. I don't know how much I want your father to be able to track my comings and goings.
Oh, he wouldn't do that. He himself would not do that. Nosy bored rich neighbors? Probably. But my father specifically, no.
Maybe not him specifically, but the guards reporting anything back to him. The less eyes on me, the better. But it's a kind offer.
Andy, how far would this be from Rainier's house in the Castle Ward?
Rainier's house in the Castle Ward? Rainier,
Neverember estate.
Neverember estate is actually inside the castle walls.
So that's even more in.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, you kind of already are.
Well, Rainier's house is in the trade ward.
Okay, so which house did Riv get jumped in?
He got jumped in Riv's mother's house. Sorry, Rainier's mother's house.
Where is that?
The Lady Brandath estate's in the trade ward.
Okay.
Yeah. The Neverember estate is actually inside the castle ward, in the actual enclosed castle area, which is also, I cannot stress this, huge.
Okay, so I think that is a misunderstanding I had. I thought we were hanging out at his dad's house this whole time.
Oh, no, there would have been a lot more security.
So we've been hanging out at his mom's house.
Yes, basically, if looking at it, when you see he's hanging out at his mom's old house, you can tell that house hasn't been lived in for a long time, because Lady Brandath and Dagal Neverember and Rainier all lived in the castle ward for the longest time until things got weird. And then just recently, after all the shenanigans with his dad and everything, he went back to, because it's his house, so he just lives at his mom's house now, which is a kind of large manor house. Actually, I apologize. It is in the castle ward, but it's not in the actual diplomatic area.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought we were going to the castle ward.
Correct. So I'm looking at my notes again. So if you look, the castle ward is pretty large.
Yes.
So there's three layers to the castle ward, right? There's the actual open to the public castle ward area. Then as you get closer to the Seleuth Street and Warriors Way, that area starts to get a little more closed off for noble visitors and diplomats and basically guests of either the council or the open lord. And then there's the castle itself, where a lot of allegedly the mass lords live. Nobody actually knows who the hell they are, what they do. So, but they have places there. Members of the council, the open lord families, members of their immediate cabinet basically all live there. It's not normal for a retired open lord to still have a place there, but Dagal Neverember was the open lord for decades. And so as basically that has now become his house.
And he technically didn't retire, he just disappeared.
That is a method of retirement.
That's like saying dying on the job is a method of retirement.
That's true. But yeah, just to clear that up. So yes,
Okay.
Lady Brandout's estate is in the castle ward because she is a noble and she lives in that area, but she's not in the like layers of security by the actual castle.
Okay.
She's just in like the very fancy Georgetown part of town.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I was like, I'm pretty sure we have been in the castle ward for a minute.
Correct. Yeah, it's just the small like southwestern corner of the castle ward. That's where we start running into like guards and gates. And you're in the like the private community over there. So you're behind the guards and gates, but you're not in the castle. I apologize for the confusion.
You know what? It's fine.
There's a lot of city.
To be so for real, we weren't even calling it by its real name to begin with, so
Oh, the estate?
yeah, we've been calling it Paramore Manor this entire time.
Oh.
So to be so for real, we never really established which last name was actually attached to it.
Yes, it is Lady Brandout's house.
Listen, that name is actually now spray painted across it.
I think Rainier would actually get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So,
yeah.
It's there if you want it. Like I said, it's free and safe. And given what we do, yes, there's a level of secrecy that needs to be involved, but there's also probably something to be said about security when you go to sleep at night.
I mean, that's fair, but like you said, I'm probably going to be staying with Rainier. He probably shouldn't be on his own at this point, anyways, given
He's got Volo hanging out with him.
He can always come too. If you're
I
worried
could
about somebody
certainly
crawling
ask
through
him.
his window again.
Yeah, that wouldn't be optimal. I can ask him.
And it would be less weird with you going there if he was there.
No, that is fair. I know you said B would probably be staying with CW. Is Brindle going to be moving in with you?
I haven't gotten the chance to ask him yet. I know he's pretty attached to Troll Skull Manor.
Such a great place.
But he's entitled to the space as well, and B can still keep her key to come and go if you and Rainier are sharing space. But
I mean, I'm just gonna be so for real, Lavinia. I think if it's me and you living there, that's probably a recipe for disaster.
listen, you lost a space that was yours and things that belonged to you because of my family's bullshit. My feelings on the situation as to how we would get along aren't really relevant.
I don't really think it is your fault that that happened, and I definitely do not hold you responsible, Lavinia, but it is kind of your family, of your father, to be trying to make amends for that. Can I think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not permanent. It's only for until we get something figured out in general, but it's I mean, it's there whether you want it or not. So if you change your mind later, you can always come.
All right. I'll let you know. How are you holding up with all of that?
I mean, on the one hand, yes, I did lose the first home that was not under my father's roof. And I did lose things, but I don't know. I do think there's a lot of value in knowing the why of my circumstances. And she gestures to her missing arm. I don't know, that question was driving me a lot more insane than I think people understand.
I mean, I think it's pretty fair to be being eaten up by the question of who would want to kill you and why, so that makes sense. You know, when I asked that question, I kind of figured we were going to talk more about the killing you part and less about the burning the boarding house down part. Because that's, I don't know, that seems like a lot to process in one night.
Yeah, but I'm also trained to expect people to kill me. People don't like watch officers and city guards. I'm kind of like conditioned to expect that of people. They're also not the first people who tried to kill me. They are certainly some of the ones who've come the closest, but
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot to unpack in all of that right there. I am not the person to do that with you at all, but I'm sure there's a lot to figure out.
probably one day, someday. But for right now, bigger fish to fry. Advin was talking about the city funding, and oh, if only he knew.
Okay, question 1, who's Advin? Question 2, ignore the first one. What's going on with the city funding?
The city funding because there's no money, because they called Neverember stole everything. It's why the response time wasn't as fantastic last night. There's things are slowing down, and it's gonna, like Sergio said, we only have a couple more days before it's out, before people know what the situation is. Also, Advin is a coworker, because I can't say he's my captain on task force because y'all don't know that.
Situationship
as B was as B learned last time.
It took so long for you to cop to it too.
She didn't want to. She was like, no. She was like, no, stop it.
Don't ask. You don't need to know.
Good.
But yeah, he's a captain over in the watch. We've worked on a couple cases, and we have some differing opinions on things like the newspaper and mascots.
Riv, your brain flashes back to the front page paper from the other day of like Lavinia and Advin on this task force. And you're like, Got it. Face to name.
He's cute.
Yep. Yep. And he knows it, which is a problem.
Oh, are you and him?
Did B put you up to this?
Put me up to what? So there is what I'm getting there is something there. Got it. Okay. You know what? Good for you. Good for you, Lavinia.
Mm-hmm.
You could do worse.
Could do better.
He just appears and says that.
Listen, he hasn't made up his mind. Fuck him. You don't have time for a man who can't like develop an opinion.
He hasn't made up his mind because he's just covering the paperwork to keep her out of internal affairs investigations.
B doesn't know that.
It's 40
B
is like,
didn't understand any of that.
like, you're such a good person and such a terrible fucking administrator.
It's like Lavinia's been running around. Lavinia and him have been in the guard and the watch for the same amount of time. And part of the reason why it's an issue is because he is in a command position and Lavinia has stayed down at the Amar position, mostly because of her own shenanigans, like letting criminals go. And that's a problem. Amongst other problems.
I'm going to write up Lavinia's disciplinary file one day. Because I think it'd be hilarious.
Just like, you gotta stop. It's just, you gotta stop.
It's got a fucking table of contents and index.
Anyway, how is Rainier holding up in the whole back on the mortal realm thing?
I haven't had a chance yet to see him today. I'm gonna be heading over there soon. He's resting and figuring out what his next moves are going to be.
I think the Black Staff probably wants to talk to him. He talked to me and B today about stuff. About whether or not who we saw was actually his dad or not, and other things, so.
Yeah, it would make sense to debrief.
I would make sure B goes with you, because after being the Black Staff in the academy today, while she was going over some project she's working on, it's a little, I don't know, it all feels a little hinky. She was reading to me from these files that didn't say anything, so top secret type shit going on in there. So I don't know, maybe just go with her when you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for that tip. I definitely would not want Rainier to be walking into another dangerous situation. He seems to kind of be a magnet for them.
Mm-hmm. His dad's behavior is kind of hanging over his head. People are going to use that against him.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. Just kind of seems like his life keeps exploding constantly, all the time. Anything else that I should get caught up on while we're talking?
Let's see. Drow came to kill me because of my dad in the Silver Marshes. Advar can tell when I lie. B's working on very high advanced magic. Blackstaff doesn't think Neverember is real, or no, he thinks he is real. Sergio, I haven't heard from Sergio since the fire, so I don't know how he's doing on preparing for tonight's heist.
Yeah, last thing you heard from me, he was trying to get an invite to this underground auction.
Yeah, I don't know what the status is of that, seeing as he showed up to the spider fight last night. And then I think B and CW have the boat race this afternoon. I think that's everything. That's everything I'm allowed to tell Riv. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's everything.
You know, I was just talking about Rainier's life blowing up so often, but when you lay out everything that's going on with us, maybe we don't have room to talk.
I don't want to point fingers, but
I will.
But a lot of stuff started happening to Rainier after we met him at the Yawning Portal.
Are we the baddies? Are we the chaotic assholes? No.
It's worth noting in this thing, Rainier gets kidnapped so fucking much. Like every other, it's literally the Buffy quote of like, "Oh, Dawn's missing, must be Tuesday," haha, because that's when they aired, and it's like, yeah, every episode.
Oh no.
Poor dude. Not catch a break. But
yeah, so that's pretty much all we've got. And we still have the yeah, I think that's it, because we can't move on the auction until tonight, and hopefully not until we hear from Sergio. So I think really the only thing we've got going on, because I'm not going back to work today after my house burned down.
understandable.
Is I think we are entitled to just go watch some boats race.
Honestly, that sounds nice.
Seems chill.
Seems like a good place to meet up with B.
I want to flash cut to B, actually. Picturing the two of you walking around in like just bathrobes in the boat, like just relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, CW's making some food and sets out food, drinks on the table, and it's like, I think the first thing he does is like laugh and high five you, and then after that
Yeah.
kind of like settles down, and he says a bunch of inappropriate stuff.
Yeah.
He
That's how you know a relationship is real, when you
Oh,
high
yeah.
five each other after you have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very dwarven. I don't know, but you guys are eating and talking. I think there's a moment where like things kind of fall silent, and he says, "So do you want to talk about the fire? We don't have to. I mean, you can stay here as long as you need to, but I just want to make sure you're okay. Are you okay?
I'm not great. I'm gonna be fully honest with
I
you,
mean, who would be?
right? But I'm gonna be okay. And here's why I'm gonna be okay. That had nothing to do with me. It was the same as that could have been anything. It had nothing to do with me. My choices did not take me to this particular junction. I cannot blame myself for this in any way, shape, or form. I happened to live with someone who Drow wanted to kill, which I sure didn't know when I signed that lease.
Yeah,
uh,
no, that's understandable.
so I, I I don't love that I live in a universe where random bad shit just happens, but random bad shit just happens. You know? Uh After Sandy had her stroke, I stopped. That messed me up, but that sort of just taught me, sometimes random bad shit happens.
Yeah,
And that's all this was. This was not me failing to account for something.
I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
Are you sure
Yeah,
you don't mind me staying here? I mean, I know there's not a ton of space on the boat. I don't take up a lot of space,
I say the boat's small, but I think so are we. So be all
right?
right.
You
Yeah,
know?
can throw you in a cupboard somewhere if we need to.
There you go. If it's too high, I won't be able to get down. So,
Ah, that's good. That's good. Um, yeah, you can stay here as long as you need to. I mean, you've basically been living here on and off anyway. Nice to see you more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be kind of nice. Um,
Say, speaking of boats, the boat race is this afternoon.
yeah, is the lament going out? Are you going out with the crew?
I am. You all are still invited. I understand completely if you have a lot of other stuff you got to take care of, but if you want some recreation, if you even if you just want to come down and watch,
I think it would be amazing to just watch a boat race this afternoon. Like, I gotta be fully honest with you. I I don't I want what I want so bad to go on that boat with you. I think if my heart rate gets above a certain number of beats per minute, I'm going to just have a full-on panic attack. It hasn't been that long since a drider tried to eat me. No, I'm
yeah,
sorry, it was a phase spider. Uh,
it was both.
There was a drider.
there was a drider, but I don't think the drider tried to eat me.
No,
Uh, I If you need a hand, I will be right there. Otherwise, I will be cheering y'all on.
no, the crew is a bunch of drunken assholes, but they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean, that's every boat crew ever, right?
I mean,
Um,
that's true. This is basically Fleet's Wake is just, you know, oops all assholes.
ain't that the truth? Yeah, no, just come out, watch the race, enjoy the sunlight, and if you gotta leave early, like okay, you know, just hopefully it's just a nice afternoon.
Oh, I didn't Yeah, it should be really great. It should be really great. I'm be like almost said in that moment, like, "Oh, I didn't tell you the dock safety coordinator, like the dock safety supervisor might owe me a favor soon." Like very nearly did that and then was like, "I should not say that. Should not say that." This is going to be great. It's going to be a great afternoon. Um Yeah, hopefully hopefully the lament doesn't like take on a ton of water like it did last year. And I think B just starts like sort of chatting about.
Honestly, we would have had him if we hadn't sunk.
I mean, it's true. We were in the running. You were in the running for like fifth place. That's
Hmm.
better than you did the year before.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this year's gonna be the first year we actually finished the race.
I'm holding you to it.
I'm excited about it.
He drinks on the fucking city watch if we do. B holds up the 5 gold Advent gave her.
I love that. As you two are like just kind of bullshitting, um, you get ascending. It's from Volo.
Oh,
And Volo says, basically, it's written, but you can see the explanations. It's like, my favorite researcher. B, first of all, I want to check in and express my sincerest condolences to hear about the tragedy that struck your home. If you need anything from me at all, please do not hesitate to ask. I understand this may delay some of our editing. That is fine. Please get back to me when you have a moment. There's no rush on this whatsoever. Your safety is number one priority. But of course, when you are ready, I would love to continue discussing the next chapters of the book.
I forgot I was doing that too.
CW just kind of laughs and goes, so much for a chill afternoon.
Oh, I forgot I was doing that too.
It's okay. The boat race goes all day. There's multiple legs.
I
You can stand
know.
out there all day in the sun drinking beers and probably black out before it finishes.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that. But I think maybe rather than black out on a pint and a half of beer, I think maybe I should at least go see Volo. So are you gonna be okay if I miss is it gonna be okay with you if I miss like the first like couple of legs of the thing?
Oh, the preliminaries and time trials?
Yeah, you guys got those.
No, that's fine. That's just replacement for the actual race.
Just make sure Giacomo doesn't like fuck up the rigging again. Like we
He's not
can't.
allowed to start drinking till afternoon.
Good. Good.
We learned that lesson last time. Beer only
Uh-huh.
for him.
Uh-huh. I told him I was gonna hang him upside down from the uh from the yardarm if he did that again. I'll do it too. I don't care if he's 3 times my height. I'll find
hey,
a way.
hey, look, check this out. He goes over and like opens a little box and like hands you basically like a small wooden device with a fuse on the end and says like, hey, I bought this. It's firework, right? I bought this in town, so like that way when the race is finished, like they're gonna have fireworks anyway. So I just figure if you want to jump in and set off something,
Oh, that's so cool. That's
it's
so
a
cool.
it's
I'm like detect magic on this immediately fuckingly.
yeah. You cast detect magic. There's some faint evocation on it. And he says, yeah, when I bought it, I guess when it goes off, it's gonna like do some lights and colors and everything. So it's pretty cool.
Detect OSHA. Detect.
Oh no, at like the faint evocation, you're like, yeah, this is more than enough to light a candle, but not enough to like actually cause any damage.
Okay.
Like it's the right amount for if you're gonna take like some dancing lights and throw them into a firework and make it look cool. Like
Oh, okay. So this.
it reads correctly. This is
Okay.
not a like small block of C4 that's about to level this like house, this boat when you set it off.
B was worried about that, but B is in like full conspiracy
Yeah.
mode of just like who's putting like is somebody putting like fucked up enchantment magic in the fucking fireworks? Like, you
Nah,
know,
it's
are there population calming chemicals in the, you know, the
They're putting
chemtrails?
drugs in the kids'
Pretty hard
Halloween
real, man.
candy.
so yeah. No, this is a like normal ass like water deep magic firework.
Okay.
It's somewhere between the scales of like firework barrage that you would see in like a cool finale of like 10 seconds of just cool light bursts, and like on the other side of that scale is like the dragon firework from Lord of the Rings, you know.
Okay. So this is sort of closer to that, like one of those big tubes, those big mortar things that you get like from the fireworks joints like right on the border of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, a little bit of magic sprinkled in to like make it look cooler.
Make it look really cool. Sick. Okay, cool. Just checking.
That's valid. Please keep
Yeah.
up that level of paranoia. It will help you.
Yes. Yes.
Because everything so far that has been terrible has started with a little mundane incident.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I will. Yes, absolutely. So I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be back before a certain point. I'm pretty sure I can get Volo to come with me if it looks like we're going to be late, because this is the kind of thing, like, you know,
I'm sure he
he's not gonna want to miss Captain Zod doing some stupid shit.
I'm sure he would love all of that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Maybe he'll want to interview y'all. Maybe he'll like some local color or something like that in the book. Wouldn't that be cool?
I love it. I'm down.
Hell yeah. All right. I love you. I'm leaving. I gotta go do my too many fucking jobs.
All right. Enjoy.
All right. Break a leg, except don't.
And you head out.
Yep. I think, yeah. B, eventually B is going to send a message over to sort of in the sort of the all hands chat to the crew, to be just sort of like, hey, everybody who's not Lavinia, we should probably go talk to the Black Staff and also get Rainier to talk to the Black Staff, but not today. I have shit to do and I don't want to talk to that man again today. He scares me.
Lavinia just comes through the thing and she's like, I told you, he's just hinky.
It's not that he's hinky, it's that he's a really powerful wizard and they're hinky. Yeah, no, yeah, no, you're right.
For
You're right.
reference, his character sheet is 8 pages long.
That's
Hinky!
hinky. That's
Jesus.
hinky. That's longer than Green Rocks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried
Oh no,
about.
it's longer than the version of Green Rocks that you got.
Well, a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seriously concerned that if he finds out about Green Rock, it's not going to be he's going to take Green Rock from me. Green Rock's going to be like, hey, I'll trade up.
Bootstrapping.
Bootstrapping. Oh, hey, this guy.
Yeah.
This guy can cast the cool spells.
This guy's not going to rip my eyes out of my sockets.
He'd be like looking back and be like, I remember a
did.
really cool courier I had. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was dope. Too bad he died 2 centuries ago. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well.
Let's take a quick 5 and then come back.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, better back. We're back.
Yay!
So B's got some work to do with Volo. Lavinia and Riv are probably all gonna meet up on the way. Because Riv would know that Volo is currently with Rainier. They've been kind of throwing out ever since Rainier kind of had his slip and fall into the astral plane, you know.
It's totally not
hours ago.
It's totally not babysitting.
Yeah.
Is that a slip and a fall, or was that like a shove with malice aforethought?
To be so fair, he was asleep. Let us not forget, he was fucking asleep.
Yeah, the greasy bitch.
This dude was just trying to take a nap or just trying to have a normal night's sleep.
Uh-huh.
And even
He was-
Volo was like, "Oh man, he drank too much."
He's trying to sleep off his drunken bender, and
And then Volo was like, "Hey, dude, it's been 16 hours. Oh boy."
Mm-hmm.
Turns out these Gatorade and saltines aren't doing it. As you all are heading across town, there's a moment, Riv, where you see a person with like a small table set up, and you've seen these before, like little like card players or other types of things around the city, right? And person, it's a gentleman dressed in just kind of like a nice like black on black with like a couple little gold accents, and just like, "Ah, you there? You seem clever.
Do I now?
Care to try your luck?"
Can't say I have much by way of money on me.
Oh, smart. Start small. What? How's I don't know, one silver sound. Easy game. 3 cards. Find the dragon. He flips over like, 2 cards. There's two knights and one's a dragon in the center.
I feel like I can't miss this opportunity because I feel like what Riv would just do in this instance is to be like, well, if you think I'm clever, you should really meet my friend. And pushes Lavinia forward.
She can wait her turn. I'd be curious to see what you bring to the table.
They're seeing someone right now.
Thank you for that, Lavinia.
Does that make you better at cards?
Not everything is a meet cute, Lavinia.
I don't know. With you gotta be careful, bud.
She's not wrong.
B just once again appears crouching above us.
Game's simple. Trade the dragon, move the cards around, you tell me where the dragon is. If you're right, you win 10 silver. If you're wrong, you lose 10 silver. Play as many times as you like.
Well,
Win
I suppose
3 times.
I am here for a game of chance.
You seem like a kind of person who's got the right skills for this. Win 3 times in a row, get a special prize. And he points at like a small little like ornate black box has like a little lock on the table.
Riv will sit down.
Okay. Gentleman takes 10 silver, puts it on the table in like a little spot on his side, and kind of gestures for you to do the same.
No way.
They do.
Okay. All right.
No bite. Sorry.
Flips the cards all face up. You can see all 3. Kind of slides the sleeves up, and then starts to flip the cards back over face down and move the cards around. Give me a perception check.
15.
15. Okay. Cards move relatively slowly, kind of flipping them over. Does a couple little fancy things, but nothing too crazy or too fast. And then the cards settle. He says, "All right, where's the dragon?"
Riv will point at the card that they were tracking.
All right, flips the card over. The dragon. Lucky day. All right, 10 silver to you. Care to go again? Remember, 3 times in a row, you get mystery prize.
They will go for a second time.
That's the spirit. I like it. Lean in. All right, give me another perception check.
That is a 16.
Okay, 16. This time he moves a little faster, right? So the first round was a bit of a warm up, just flipping the cards around a little faster, talking to you this time. I remember the key about this game is you got to have full concentration on where the cards are at all times. Just follow the card. Nothing crazy here to see. Nothing great, and then bam, card stop. And he says, "Where's the dragon?"
They will once again point at where they believe they've been tracking the dragon.
Flips the card. Look at that, 2 for 2. Slides you another 10 silver across the table. Says, "We go for the big finale."
Before that happens, I've been watching this. Can I look around and see, is there any way for me to tell, was this person waiting for Riv specifically?
Make a, man, this would be a perception or investigate check.
Okay. Well, my investigation is better than my perception, so 19.
19. You don't know if he was waiting for Riv specifically, but he did very clearly, there's a lot of people walking down up and down the street, and he's occasionally pointed out a few people, but did clearly point directly at Riv and say, "You there?" Right? Maybe he spotted something. You've seen this kind of people before. The people playing dice and card games on the street. It's technically not illegal, but a lot of these people, are cheats, right? And they just fleece people out of money. So it's kind of a thing where after a while they tend to be like, "All right, hey, just move along." But doesn't seem like it's hard to tell if it was Riv specifically or maybe Riv looked like an easy mark or what. But I guess you can tell it was Riv specifically. You're not sure why.
Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on, see if there's anyone else who's watching with particular interest in because there's always people who stop to watch these kinds of things. Yeah, but if there's anyone in particular who's watching a little too close.
Yeah, a little small crowd of about half dozen people have gathered because this dude's kind of making a big deal and presentation about it. It's caught a few people's eyes and they just kind of stopped to watch, but nobody's your good watch instincts are going off and nobody looks like they're trying to get close enough to snatch somebody's purse or anything like that with a distraction. It just seems like a street game of cards. It says, "All right, this is it for the big money." And with a blur, his hands move so fast that it is honestly difficult to imagine people move. I mean, you've seen people do this. You've probably, I don't know if you've done this type of thing to people or had it done to you, but you definitely know people who do this kind of games. And this dude is a professional at the speed he is moving. And then 3 cards. At this point, you're kind of not sure where that card went. Says, "All right, find the dragon."
Riv is going to attempt it.
Which card?
Where is he looking? Is he staring directly at Riv?
He's staring directly at Riv.
I think Riv is going to start by just running their hand over the cards and picking whichever one feels right.
Okay. You are actually pulled to the card on the far right.
Then Riv is just going to tap that card.
You sure? Remember, this is for the grand prize.
I'm positive.
I like the confidence. Flips the card over. And it is indeed a silver dragon. And people in the crowd cheer. He claps as well. Says, "Well done, well done." I can tell you, it has been an age since I've actually gotten somebody to pick 3 in a row. Like, incredible. Played before?
Not on this side of the table.
Nah, I respect that deeply. Well, here, it takes a little key, unlocks the chest, and sets it down and says, "Grand prize is all yours."
Shall I open it here?
Be my guest. It's yours. Please. You earned it.
Riv opens the chest.
Okay. Lavinia, you just see Riv open a chest, and inside there is a ornate little figurine, and it looks like it's made out of emerald. It's probably very valuable. Your initial instinct says this is at least maybe 20-30 gold. This little figurine, crazy expensive thing to just be given away at a little table game.
So fucking cursed. Who is it? What fucked up little deity is it? Who is it? I'm a juke 'em.
As Riv, you open the chest, you notice for a moment the lighting changes. And everyone else is still there with you, but you feel like you're almost pulled back away from them with this gentleman. And Lavinia and the rest of the crowd, the noise, the clapping, they all just kind of slowly stop moving and fade away. He says, "Now, that's yours to keep. You're in that fair and square. See, I wanted to have a chance to sit down and talk with you, Riv. And honestly, I want to congratulate you. Not on this game. This, I felt pretty confident you'd win, but had to be sure. No. You're playing a game for much bigger stakes right now, aren't you?"
I would say I'm playing several different games, some competing for big stakes right now.
Of course, why put it all in one basket, right? Hey, I respect it. I want to make you, I want to present an opportunity, if you will. Let's see, you've been doing a little bit of, stealing recently, and I like that. Angered a couple people. Especially last night, really caught my attention.
Last night, indeed.
Bold enough to just brazenly go and steal souls from the god of death himself. Under the guise of helping. Clever. Very clever. I thought it was funny. Some people didn't like it, but I'm not those people. Dead 3, that's a different problem. But a bunch kind of whiny anyway, right? I want to help you.
Why me? Just because I caught your attention? Because I intrigued you?
The boldness. I like people who create their own opportunities. And I'll be honest, he did kind of call me. And his face, which if you were asked to describe, probably couldn't, just slowly becomes consumed by a dark mask. Pay attention to my acolytes. And I thought it was interesting because you're not one of them. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta say things that aren't necessarily true to, do what needs to be done, right? I am mad.
I never would have imagined I would have caught the attention of one such as you.
No. People never see it, but actions, they ripple dramatically. You saved a bunch of lives, right? And that's one way of looking at it. But Merkel got a death. A little piss you stole from him. Not your problem. He's not going to extract vengeance. But interesting to see him get uppity, Yeah. I think you and I could work together. Hey, here's the catch. Because now you're looking for one. I would be. Why don't you just keep doing what you're doing? There are a lot of things that
to steal.
Yeah.
Continue to show different faces to different or even the same people.
Yeah, got a good style. Not here to cramp it.
And where is the part where you will one day ask me for a favor or something like that?
Oh no, the favor I get is just the show. Hey, look, we've all got plans. I've got plans, you've got plans, but turns out I think our plans kind of align. So, the way I see it, helping you just helps me. And if you don't make it, sorry about your luck. If you do make it, ooh, if you do. Oh man. You gonna be a hero? You gonna actually help save Waterdeep? Or is some of that gold go missing? Maybe more than it should. A lot of questions. Steal a victory for someone else? Line your pockets a little? Or steal the hearts of the city? Either way, it's still a win.
And so, if I understand you correctly, in essence, any chaos, any trickery, anything like that will suffice or more than suffice.
Of course. From time to time, I may make a few recommendations, but don't. If you're too far off course, I'll just shake hands and part ways.
And there will be no hard feelings if that were to ever happen?
No. On one condition. This is where we will part terms on ill will. As you and I are schemers and planners. But I'm not scheming against you. If I find out that you ever are scheming against me, well, that would be a source of heartache for me. If it turns out our paths go in a different direction, hey, that's the weave, kid.
Then I think I have no reason not to accept these terms.
Smart play. He just holds out his hand.
Riv shakes it.
And you do feel a surge of power. He says, I wish you luck, but honestly, I don't think you need it. Oh, and keep the idol. Call it a collaboration gift.
And Riv just says, that's very gracious of you. Thank you. And winks.
As you wink, everything just kind of snaps back into focus. And there's like just the clapping. Everyone's just like, he's like, hey, you got me. You know, best laid plans. Honestly, well done. You want to go double or nothing?
Not today, but
You know what?
For the entertainment and the challenge.
Absolutely.
Your handwork that last round was impeccable.
Like flips up a little silver coin and just quickly moves it to a lot of practice. But hey, you got fast eyes. Can't get one over on you. So looks at Lividia and says, sorry, I'm kind of wiped out for today. I think this guy took me for all I had. But hey, remember, anytime you want to play cards, Zara's here.
Well, it's probably best if you find another corner.
Of course, I'll be on my way. Grabs the end of his table and like you hear like a click. The table folds up into a little briefcase and he turns and walks down the street and just kind of disappears into the crowd.
Can I identify that idol?
Yeah, it's just a little green. It's a little emerald jaguar.
He's a jaguar.
Mm-hmm. You can roll religion or arcana if you like.
Yeah, I think I would. I think it makes more sense in this. My religion is higher, but I think it makes more sense contextually that Lavinia would roll arcana.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 20.
A 20? You look at it and it doesn't have any like religious context that you're aware of. It doesn't seem to have any like historical context you're aware of. Excuse me. Where is it? It vaguely strikes you as maybe something that could have been missing from a like police report, but like nothing immediately comes to mind.
Did it? I think after kind of the crowd disperses a little bit, Lavinia is going to be like, did it zap you? Does it tingle? Is it coated in some kind of like toxic frog goo and you're going to hallucinate on me? Because if you jump in the water, I will have a very hard time getting you out. And she gestures to her only one arm.
Lavinia, that is very kind of you to be thinking several steps ahead, but no, I don't think there is a risk of anything like that. It's just a statue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I apologize. You rolled a 20?
Yeah.
Was it a nat 20 or?
It was, because my Arcana is 0.
Okay. I apologize. On a nat 20, it matches the description of another item that was potentially taken from House Fyland during the Dragon Heart Necklace heist. That Officer Helsing was working. And it's like a miracle that you remember that, because it's buried deep down into like the notes description of like other trinkets and baubles taken, because like, and the family was like, we don't give a shit about these, we care about the necklace. But there were a couple other things taken.
I think Lavinia will point at it and just be like, well, it is stolen property, so maybe stop letting me see it.
And Riv just makes it disappear into one of their pockets. See what? There's nothing to see here. You seem perturbed, Lavinia.
Something wasn't right about that, but I can't exactly tell what it was. I'm sure it'll be a problem later, because everything is these days, but also I'm trying to figure out, that. I'm also trying to figure out how I can tell Officer Helsing that apparently her highly skilled jewel thieves are just giving away their stolen, ill-begotten goods on the street with 3-card Monty. She's gonna absolutely have her head explode about that.
Or you could just not mention it, because what is there to mention? See? Hands are empty.
I mean, the dragon heart necklace does need to be found.
That was one of a kind. This is just gem cutting.
Yeah, I don't have to tell her I know where that went or who has it or any of that. I just need to let her know that apparently, because anyone who's willing to do that is not doing it for the money, which in some cases can make them very dangerous for the public. In some ways, it is safer for them just to be mercenary about things. A thrill seeker puts others at risk.
Anyone can put anyone at risk, and chaos doesn't always mean destruction. Some people just like to live dangerously.
And that's fine. When they're not doing it in a place that can hurt other people very easily. These streets are very narrow, in case you haven't noticed.
I didn't get the sense that any harm was coming of any of that. Except for the loss of a few coins.
Well, there's the rub. You didn't lose anything. He lost everything. And he seemed happy to do it. Weird. Weird.
I mean, the house always wins eventually.
I mean, maybe, but he didn't say he was advertising for a particular gambling house. Speaking of gambling houses, the one the Castellanters are running keeps coming up.
Oh, the Afterlife Casino?
Yep. Them and their bank and that whole cyclical life cycle nature is a little concerning. So don't let me forget to mention that.
Coming up.
It's come up a few times in the paper, at the bar right before the house blew up.
I'm gonna make a quick executive decision and say that, like, as you two are having this conversation, you guys intersect with B.
B is like doing the like walking completely distractedly, like doing the thing that wizards are really not supposed to do, like, and like walking while messaging, or like walking while sending, and
God, they're assigned the crosswalks. Fuck.
yep.
Uh,
And is just like, oh, hi, hello, hi, fancy meeting you guys here.
Hi.
you're all just staring at Rainier's house, like, yeah.
I was coming to meet Volo.
Yeah, he's been over here, and I was coming to check on Rainier. How I've had a chance to hear how Lavinia's doing. How are you doing, B?
You know, I'm gonna be fine. It's just stuff.
You do realize nothing about that is reassuring, and I'm actually more concerned about you than I was 30 seconds ago.
A lot. I have backups for a lot of the important stuff on CW's boat, which is where I'm going to be staying for a little while. So honestly, this is kind of just sort of enforcing a decision that he and I had been putting off, which was like to see if we were going to like move in together. So, you know, we'd been it was a conversation that we'd been avoiding having, and now we're just gonna do it, and it's gonna be great. I've been staying there most nights anyway, so I'm lucky enough to not have to fall back on Lavinia's dad's offer, or Adven's offer, or Volo's offer, or the Blackstaff's offer, or everybody wants to offer me housing, which is really nice of them, but
Nobody wants you on the streets, B.
nobody wants me on the streets. They know I'd cause problems.
That's how you get a Manchun incident.
It's true.
They're
It's
like,
true.
we gotta keep her housed.
Homeless wizards cause problems. It's
Mhm.
another reason we don't like sorcerers.
Facts.
But yeah, so I'm, like I said, I'm not great. I was almost eaten by a spider. That's not cool. It's not a thing I hoped would ever happen. But I'm gonna be fine. The mind is agile. And well, not to put too fine a point on it, but I have a really great case study in how bad things can get. And honestly, compared to what Rory went through, this ain't shit. So, how about you? How are you feeling? How are you doing?
No, me, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's also similarly extremely reassuring.
Mhm. I mean, we all know where things stand. We all know what happened. Fine is apparently all any of us can be.
We're alive. I think that is. Honestly, what more can you ask for in this fucked up little city?
It's the best we've got.
So, B, you're here to see Volo.
I'm here to see Volo. Obviously, I do need to see Rainier as well. The Black Staff has questions for him. And I like Professor Aronson. He's a very nice person. He's a very good teacher. He can be intense with a capital every letter.
All caps.
All caps. So I would like to make sure Rainier is doing okay and feeling up to dealing with Professor Aronson. Though it's entirely possible that I'm only freaked out by him because I've seen his spell book. But like only glanced at it because some of those higher level spells gave me a nosebleed. Like it's not, it's there's a reason we don't teach 8th level spells to grad students. It's not good for your brain.
It sounds unpleasant and concerning.
Yeah, magic is kind of both of those things by its very nature. It's so fun. It's great. It's great. I don't regret any choices I've ever made in my life. But let's go see Rainier and Volo.
Okay, and you guys all head inside to catch up. What I want to do is I think this is a good stopping point for the evening. Mostly because we've reached a tipping point where Rainier's got a lot going on, and things will happen. And I think we're good to pause here. So you did it. Survived the session.
Hooray!
We are together again. Mostly. Partially. Almost.
Partially. Almost.
Yeah.
And as we kind of fade out from Neverwinter, Waterdeep, wrong campaign. Fade out from Waterdeep. We see once again there's like just a gentleman sitting at a desk. It's Dagald Neverember. And around him he looks just like he's slowly starting to just buckle under some weight that's on him. And he's staring at multiple screens or mirrors, crystal balls, some of them reflecting glimpses of like Manchun, some of them reflecting glimpses of the Brandath Manor, glimpses of other people you don't actually recognize. A few more you do, the Castellanters. The area outside of the Blackstaff Academy. And he's looking at a very, very intense design. And he just breathes out and says, kind of to himself, and says, we're so close. I'm so concerned that the slightest mistake is going to send this entire thing just crashing down. And it'll be all for nothing. And another voice responds from another one of the scrying mirrors. It says, you planned this. You're part of this now as much as me. In the end, I'm going to win. But it's hard to win any game without losing a few pieces. Look at the big picture. And Neverember just sighs and goes, God, I'm hoping I'm right about this. Touches another small scrying stone and says, do it. Move to phase 2. Then takes the stone, smashes it onto the floor. Went back into his desk. And the scene cuts out.
This is fine.
I gotta get this bitch's third eye ASAP.
It's been 1 week.
Yep.
Not even.
Not even. This is fine. This is fine.
Yep, so that's the session. We're doing it.
Yep, we're doing it.
We're doing it, guys. Yeah, I'm just as stressed as you guys are, honestly.
I don't know if I
I don't-
believe that.
I
Yeah.
don't think, I don't
Yeah.
think that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe you.
Doubt.
Press X to down.
Press next.
Yeah. So, good session. A lot of filler.
Just casual things happening for everyone across the board. You know,
Very casual.
relationships moving forward, CW and Beer living together.
Right? We're gonna live
Mhm.
Like-
together. You know?
We love that for them.
Yeah. That's like the biggest thing I'm taking away from tonight's session.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing
It's
that
obviously
happened.
the most important thing that happened. You know,
You got like 20 gold. That's pretty sick.
yeah, you got 20 gold and a cool rock, a cool Jaguar idol. So now
And
we've all got cool
stolen
and a
item,
cool
like, yeah.
cool
And that
stolen
rock
idol.
that was definitely
cool
spying on you that you put in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I, Della Collins, do an Arcana check to see how similar that was to the shit in Rory's office?
You're being spied upon.
Yeah, thou art being spied upon.
There's a-
And you've got a brain friend too now.
What domain is that? Is that the trickery cleric domain? Is that who that was?
I
Who
have
was that?
no idea what you're talking about.
Whomst
Yeah.
was that? Whomst was that?
Whomst.
I just made a new friend. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. Sitting here with Green Rock, like, B, if he wanted to, he would. But, you know.
Here's the thing about Green Rock.
No, I Green Rock is way less interesting than this masked figure. I want to know more about this guy.
He's been in the last 2 sessions.
Yeah, he's been spying. Playing chess with us.
Ah,
Or what is it? What is the D&D?
Lance board.
Yeah, lance board. I was like, what is the D&D equivalent? Because for some reason, chess is... We can have swords and shields and all this other shit, but fuck you and your chessboard.
you
I don't know
can't
if
just
that's
have chess.
No. But I don't know
Fuck
if that's
that.
I don't know if that's like a copyright issue or just a like we just want to make the sound cool issue.
It's that. It's the second one. Chess isn't copyrighted. Who's gonna copyright fucking chess? Deep Blue?
Hasbro?
Kasparov?
Milton
Even then,
Bradley?
they can't.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
There are certain things that cannot be copyrighted by their essence, and even if they were, once they've reached a certain point of existence, they're common. It is common property.
Hmm.
That's why any old bitch on Etsy can make an Ouija board.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
Good
and
to know.
Hasbro decided that defending the copyright on that was not worth their time.
That is true. Technically, the Ouija board copyright expired early because they were like, we're not fighting this.
Yeah, they
but
did not. Yeah,
there is a certain point where you can't just keep owning things.
that is actually true. That is the dark side of something becoming a patent name, kind of becoming colloquialized as the thing, like Kleenex or Band-Aid, is that you still have to
It's
defend
called
it.
Dragon Chess? Wait up. Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, it's
It's
like
just called Dragon Chess. That's even lazier.
that is worse.
That is actually worse than calling it Lance board.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Lance board is the board you play on.
It's just dragon. It's just dragon chess.
Yeah, you play Dragon Chess on the Lance board.
You know what? I think we're done.
Yeah,
I think we're done.
I just looked it up.
I just like how you dropped that in our chat, so we'll never be able to forget it.
That's for everyone. Just enjoy.
Great.
Thanks.
Dragon Chess. You just put dragon in front of it. You know.
Is dungeon chess would have been worse. Is why. Dungeon chess implies some things.
True. By like 3-card Monte and 3 dragon ante, you just keep throwing dragon in there, like you're good. So
Dragon D's
dungeon checkers. What we need is an insane like archmage to like just go like be like, you know what, I'm playing human chess with people, and then like just like that's the campaign is you just trying to fight you out of a human chessboard. Or I'm sorry, a human dragon chessboard.
Yeah, one side's playing humans, the other
right,
side's
Andy.
playing dragons.
My bad. Yeah. I shouldn't even be a DM. I don't even know what the fuck's going on in this world.
It's just like human chess, like at the Ren Fair.
Yeah,
but dragons.
Except one side is humans and the other side is dragons, and that's just Rise of Tiamat.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah.
It's all come full circle. We've all got it. We've got it all good together.
We're holding it together, gang.
Y'all want to play chess? I actually like to play chess in real life.
I'm so bad at chess. I taught my 6-year-old to play chess so that I'd be able to beat somebody. It's
my half brother is like obnoxiously good at chess, but I am very good at the kind of chess that's very frustrating, where I will get you down to 2 pieces left, and I will just chase your king around with only 1 move to make, which my sister has declared terroristic activities.
So there is a certain point at which if you have chased the king around, there's a certain number of moves that if you have not gotten the king into checkmate, the game ends.
It is 50.
Draw. Yeah.
Is if you've made 50 moves on a chessboard and you have not conducted checkmate or taken a piece, the game ends in a draw.
Mm-hmm.
That will never be a concern because I've never made a tactical decision once in my life.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I love chess so much.
On that note,
let's do some outros. I'll start. Oh, I didn't intro myself. I'll outro myself first, though. Hi, I'm Andrew. I run the game and I play chess. Anyway, sorry, dragon chess. Della.
Hi, I'm Della Collins. I have been B. that's it. I'm on Blue Sky.
What are you doing?
She's great. She's
Great.
great. She's kicking ass, she has too many jobs. I think she's a grad student. I think she has 2 teaching positions right now. She's got the black staff in her actual brain. She's got Green Rock in her actual brain. She's working on a book with Volo. I think she's still signed up to do like the wizarding like games, like the
Yes.
wizard trials. Also she's got to find Green Rock's third eye. She's got to do this heist, these 2 heists, right? Because we've got the one at the shipwrights ball, and we've got the one at the
shipwrights ball is not like a
There's no heist there.
thing. The shipwrights ball is Advent was like, hey Lavinia, something weird is gonna happen.
Okay, I mixed that up. Oh right, it's this auction.
Someone else is going to try and heist the shipwrights ball.
Yeah, someone else is gonna hype the ship.
Is gonna heist the shipwrights ball.
Because pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I thought he was telling us about ourselves for a second there.
I'm going to live for the day when Advent's just like, hey, Lavinia, I need you to help me like conduct an undercover like investigation on this like group of heisters, and it's just you guys.
It's gonna be a perfect symmetry with that time Brindle agreed to rob the docks and guard the docks from robbery in the same
God, that was
night,
so good.
which was the perfect thing to do. I missed the Brindle swindle.
I could not have written that better. I was like, you doing what now? Fuck yes.
He's kicking ass. Anyway, so I only have 1 heist to do. But this heist should get me Green Rock's third eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's honestly the most important thing right now. B needs to get her mind right on that, because that's actually the most important thing right now.
It's true. And hopefully phase 2 doesn't change any of that stuff.
You also
will unleash hell. Yeah.
You also forgot you have to work at the reference desk.
Oh right, I do still work at the reference desk, and I still technically have to show up to like Mason's Guild meetings.
Yep. Don't forget.
Yeah.
What you're saying is you feel like I've done a good job replicating life as an academic.
Yeah, but what's cool now is I don't have to sleep because I got my buddy.
Yeah,
so I'm handling it great. I'm actually handling it great.
Hell yeah.
I can never lose attunement to Green Rock. I'll collapse. My life will collapse.
It's like, I now need you in order to get all my work done.
It's like, I can offer you great power and like cosmic knowledge. It's like, no, just the fact that I get the extra 8 hours a day, honestly, that's it.
Yeah, sorry, I just need you to be supernatural Adderall. That's 99% of what I'm using you for, good buddy.
I mean, the hell is like, you get the extra 8 hours, but you still have like all the dysfunction that comes with it. So you're just like, oh no, I didn't sleep and I got nothing done.
That would be the worst. But this is the dream. This is the true ADHD dream of I don't have to sleep. I can just keep doing stupid shit 24/7.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bean's doing great.
He's doing great.
Riv.
Hello, I am JD. I have been Riv. You can find me on Blue Sky at jd.jasondean. You know what? Riv made a new friend today, and I think we can all be happy about that and whatever comes from that. They certainly are very happy and excited for this next phase in their life. You know, they've got a few things going on. They have an orphanage to save and make sure, you know, the kids have food and everything else. They have a heist that has no personal relevance to them whatsoever on any level.
Nope.
And, you know, there's the whole thing with the Catsalanters that they'll deal with that as they need to. But you know what? The important thing there is that art is about to be performed.
Hell yeah. Perfectly manageable number of things. Lavinia.
Hi, I'm Juliet. I'm on all social media as HexWhat. Tonight I've been Lavinia Hale. Remember, ACAB does include Lavinia Hale. She's just wants to have a nice little afternoon watching some boats before she gets back into all the everything that she's got going on. I think that's fair and valid. Honestly, it's what all of us deserve. It's just to watch this boat race. And nothing will go wrong at this boat race. At this privateers, specially funded boat race.
Yeah. Kind of sad. I love the level of paranoia that B went to when CW was like, a bunch of some fireworks, and you're just like, no, it's gonna kill us.
Who did you buy them from? Was it just some guy? Was it just some guy?
I wasn't like, this is gonna kill us. I was like, where'd you buy this from? Where'd you? Was it a reputable distributor?
Who's your firework guy?
Who's your fireworks guy? You're a dwarf. You've got a fireworks guy.
Was he in a store, a stand, a stall, or just the alley?
How deep was the hood of his cloak? Because that's an indicator.
Like some Palpatine levels of like.
Yeah, because like no hood on the cloak, they're gonna be shit fireworks. But super deep cloak,
Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really looking for something kind of in the middle here.
Crown of the head.
Yeah, crown of the head. Crown of the head could be pulled forward in the face in case the watch show up, but like you're still seeing some nose and chin, like
Love it.
Anyway, that's all for me. I'm doing something here on LFTA on the 10th. That's not really a surprise, but hasn't been officially announced, but that's coming up. Enjoy that. And then on the 11th, I will be doing Star Trek stuff. I was kidnapped. Nyko Bard was kidnapped, and so they can no longer play diplomat. Now they must play hostage. Come see that back-to-back double feature. Goodbye.
Oh. And I'm Andrew, run the game. So I have a finale, or an epilogue, I guess, for Veilbreakers on the 15th of June in this year of our Lord 2025. Assuming all the stars align and everyone can be at the table to do this epilogue. Because they've already survived the final fight. Just 3 Draco Liches and a Lich. Well, most of them survived. I did kill 3 characters. They got better.
Okay.
It was great. Sometimes you just gotta ruin someone's day when they're like talking about your shit and they're like, I'll bury you in the dust, and they like grab the bad guy to like throw him off the ledge into the astral like void, and the bad guy's just like, human contact, fantastic, you first, and just power kills them.
Gotta look out for that.
Yeah, no one ever sees it coming. But there's a time stop incident. It was all bad, but they survived enough. But I need them all to get to this epilogue, myself included. I think I've been the problem, but whatever.
They deserve happiness.
They deserve closure.
I don't like how you changed the statement of happiness to closure.
There's still some pending questions. But they deserve closure. Yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully that happens in a week and a half. And I'll be doing more of this. So, anybody else have any parting thoughts, though? I think that's about it.
Get your passport.
Get your passport. All right, nothing heard. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.